Well, welcome back, my friends, all to another rousing rendition of Choir Boys Outdoors. This is the Hawk. It was designed by Gabe from Last Huntsman Outdoors. I'll put a link to him in the description. It was made by Jacob at Very Good Knife Company. I am a monster fan of Very Good Knife Company's knives. This is the Hawk, made in the USA. It's 80 CRV2. I believe these are micarta handle scales. We're going to do a use review. Now, normally I narrate. Today, I just want to do it a little bit different. We're going to talk about it as we go. Jacob makes some sharp knives. One of the reasons I wanted to do it this way simply is I can give you my thoughts in the moment. Typically, with fixed blades, I like doing the narration, and pocket knives doing it this way, but there's a lot I want to discuss about this knife. Bear with me till the end. We'll try not to make it too long. The Hawk, designed by Gabe, the Last Huntsman Outdoors, made in America by Jacob from Very Good Knife Company. Let's go outside and cut a bunch of shit up. Well, I told you a story. Before we go outside, let's do this. Now listen, I do this a lot, and shorts and things like that. And the deal is this, guys, it's not to go, ooh-wee, look how sharp that is. It just gives us a good idea of where the edge is at. Now, cutting paper, people say, well, it can dull a knife. Shit, anything can dull a knife. There's a lot that can dull a knife, but this just gives me a good idea. And I wanted to do this too for another reason. We cut paper at the beginning. We cut paper at the end. It just shows us where we're at. Now we're going outside. Here comes the lovely Megatron, the love of my life, the better looking part of us. She likes to laugh. We like to call her, actually, people call us vicious and delicious. But if I hear anybody else call her vicious, it's going to be a hand fight. You know what I'm saying? All right. So here we go. Let's go outside. I love y'all. God knows I do, except a couple of you. You know, a couple I just don't like. Trent and Renee. I'm going to do a video one day on people I don't like. You say, Scab, why would you waste the time? Because it makes me feel better about myself. Let's go to the stump. Yeah, come on. Before we go too much further, this is done in a Kydex sheath. It has an ulti-clip. Very Good Knife Company logo right there. You can clip it on the inside. In fact, let me do that now. I know this video is going to run a little longer, and that, you know, you always run the risk of people just skipping through, and I'm okay with that. So this is a true pocket fixed blade. Front pocket, thumb stud, or the thumb thing on the Kydex, I can pull it. We're going to do the Donnie Be All Day drop test. Big shout out to Donnie. Now, for those of you who don't know, November the 11th, Veterans Day, we're having Ernie Emerson, Curtis Iovito, Greg Medford, and Eric Hansen. Eric Hansen, Curtis Iovito, Greg Medford, and Ernie Emerson on JS Bladecraft's channel and on my channel for Blade Talk with Scab and Joe. They're, I think 3 of them are combat veterans. They all have worked hand in hand with our military all over the world. So it's going to be a salute to veterans. We're going to talk about American-made knives. If it goes well, next year we'll add more and more as we go. So the Donnie Be All Day, throw it at the stump test. We're going to do a quick stab test here. Now, there's always this discussion on a sheep's foot or a Warncliffe. Let me just tell you this. I don't give a shit. I've got other things in life to worry about than a technical term. You don't watch my channel for that. You don't argue about it in the comments. I'm going to call it a sheep's foot because that's the mood I'm in today. Now, stabbing. It's not just to go, ooh, and I've had people go, why do you stab tires, man? Well, it's a hard substance, right? Gives us a little different resistance. It's not to be super impressive, but we can check out the tip. But the main thing we can check out, you see how here Jacob has put somewhat of a guard. My thumb's on the pommel, bap, and notice, I mention this a lot, but watch. I'm not coming up here psycho, right? Quick pop. So the other thing that does is it checks the slip. It checks any hot spots in the handle. It lets me know if there are any hot spots here. It's good for grip. The tip is well maintained. Now, I'm not going to do the twist test with this. 2 reasons. One is it's not my knife. Secondly is, there's absolutely no reason to do that with this knife. This to me is an a everyday use, or a TDC, today's damn carry. This is a knife that you can use damn near for any task you need. You know, the whole, is it good for self-defense? Guys, a butter knife's good for self-defense. It's the person using it. My dogs realized that I was making a video, so they decided to join in. Look at that. Now listen, we're doing a GoFundMe for Jacob so he can get a new shop. Would I normally do that? Yeah, because I want to help the community, and I've donated. I'm not just talking. I put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to put the GoFundMe in the comments. Jacob's one of those guys who deserves a real shot at this. He does all of this by hand grinding, hand sharp. You know, there's no CNC, there's none of that I know of. To my knowledge, he does his own heat treat. If I'm wrong, Jacob put it in, but Jacob does, he makes usable knives. And I want to thank Gabe for letting me check this out. I love this knife. Right here again, now this particular test, again, it's not to see, oh, the sharpness, no. We're seeing if it'll chip the edge. Boop. Does not, nothing visible. Let's just use the knife. Let's just hold the knife right here. Now this is a piece of cedar, so it's not like it's some kind of rock hard wood. But you see what I'm doing there? See my grip? Full grip. I'm gonna pull measurements at the end. Look at that. I can get my entire hand on it. This part of my hand is extra large. These are mediums. I'm built like the world's tallest dwarf. I can't help that. I want to do a shout out for 411 Outdoors. I believe his hands and mine are a lot the same, but shout out to him. He does an amazing job. He has a lot of great knives. But here's the deal. I believe even Donnie B all day, or Kent Aldridge, or one of those guys with the 2X hands, I believe even if they, look at that, I've got about a ½ inch. Well, let's don't get crazy. Yeah, I got a solid ½ inch here. So while worst case on a XX hand, you might be like that, but there's plenty of purchase there. Go. 90 got a piece of sandblast hose here. Making short work of it with this thing. I want to be careful when I'm cutting. I don't want my hand to slip. One, I don't want to hurt myself. And two, I don't want to hurt myself. You know what I'm saying? So here's what we're going to do. This is reinforced sandblast hose. I hope we're getting a good view. One of the things I enjoy about shooting at Kirk's, or when Joe's down, or and shout out to Joe from JS Bladecraft, or Shane at work, when I have somebody kind of operating the camera, I know everything's good. You can tell when I do and when I don't. Now look at the penetration. We'll get there again. Reinforced sandblast hose. Knife is really making short work of it. I like to push down. Yep, no problem. So I would think this would be a great overall camp knife, a great overall hunting knife, just a good knife to have on you. People say, what does it do specifically? Well, I don't know. I mean, I do know. What would I use it for? Mostly mine would be taking it like camping and around camp. You can use it to slice up your food. You can use it, whatever you want to use a knife for. That's what I like about this. It has the versatility. I don't know if you guys can see. If I'm out of frame, I'm sorry. But I can drop it, you know, I have it in my pocket, it's there, it rides good. I love the way it carries. It's a true pocket fixed blade, plenty of handle. Let's come down. Now I'm getting ready for my dogs to play. We're playing Ole Miss, which worries me a little bit. My dad's people are from Mississippi, so it's not really a team I hate, unless we lose to them. Old Scab's not the best sportsman in the world. Now here we got a piece of oak, dried out. But again, one of the reasons that I like cutting so much stuff, and I've changed the tactic, if you notice from the early kind of days of the channel, we did a little more abusive, nothing super, but you know, I've just noticed as I've started to go camping more and more, as I'm in the woods more and more, at work more and more, I'm trying to give you some real deal stuff. I really do whittle a lot, even if it's just sharpening down a stick to make punji sticks and spears for the neighborhood kids, or just bored as shit sitting around the house sometimes, which is rare. But what I like to do in that instance is grab a knife that I don't use a lot, and I'll grab 3 or 4 different kind of pieces of wood and just work on skill set some, whether it's a tri-stick or honestly just kind of standing and cutting. Very, very comfortable in my hand. And that's all I can tell you about. This is probably, I don't know, 4th or 5th knife from Very Good Knife Company that I've demonstrated. Jacob just does a jam up job, man. We're going to cut 2 pieces. You'll notice I'm not having to manipulate my hand a whole lot of ways. That's the benefit of a good sharp knife. Give you a good look there. Good look at the edge. Just feels good in hand. That is a 90-degree spine. You could get some shavings. You could strike a ferro rod. But you can also rest your thumb there and it doesn't tear it up. Now I need to quit dicking around. Again, this is 2 pieces. So you can also, you know, you can go there. Now I wanted to show y'all something too. I am an absolute scavenger. And guys at work will ask, man, you don't just take the strap. No, dumbasses. Well, I was going to say if it's burnt, if it's broke, it's something like that, I scavenge it. The damn camera cut off and I didn't know it. I ran another 5 minutes beyond that. So let's drop back and pick up. Listen, here's what I want to do. I'm going to pull some measurements on it. We're going to do a little bit of light batoning. We'll go in and cut some paper up and we'll go from there. Now, I do want to say this. I literally, where the camera just cut off a few seconds ago, I probably made another 10 or 15 more cuts. Put some wear on it, but that's okay. Let's pull our measurements. We got, I believe, okay, so overall length on this bad boy is right at 7 3/4. You got a handle length of 4. The blade is right at 3 3/4. We've got 3 1/8 on a cutting edge. Now down here, we've got right at 3/16. That tapers down as it goes. So 3/16 there on blade stock, down to 1/8, and then all the way it ends in a point. The inner grip on this is a solid, well, let's see. Let's make sure so I don't lie to you. Yeah, inner grip is a solid 4, but it allows you to drop a finger here if you just have double extra large hands or something like that. So you can still get plenty of good purchase on it. It feels great in hand. The way Jacob has done the handle, when you lock it in, it's pretty locked in there. I don't want to cut myself, but I can turn this any way I want. I can get a good grip. It has a 90-degree spine if I needed to strike a ferro rod. Yet, when I hold my thumb like this again, there's no uncomfort or discomfort. Let's do a little bit of batoning. We'll do a little bit more slicing of paper inside, and we'll move forward. Let's join us over there, or join me over there. Y'all know what I'm saying. All right, guys. I am not going to do a ton of batoning. The point here, let me see something real quick. The point here is not to show you, you know, how super tough the knife is. That's not the deal. To me, this is a slicing knife. It is a cutting tool, and if you use it as such, you'll be fine. But I do like doing just some light stuff to see how it feels in hand. Again, you know, we're using some cedar here, and it's not my knife. So I tapped it down into that knot. I'm going to stop there, not my knife. And I'm not saying it wouldn't survive. It's just, when you have something like this, in my opinion, that is a true cutting tool, something that you're truly going to use, while certainly you want it to be able to hold up, being bomb-proof for me is not the goal. This is a pocket fixed blade that I would carry, absolutely, 100%, and use, absolutely, 100%. And really, truly, honestly, I don't baton. I do it some for the channel. You'll notice I've cut back, unless it's just one of those big vicious knives that I like doing, then we go big. We go big for effect. But something like this that I'm just going to tap around camp or use around camp, not going to do a lot with. Now, I believe, because the questions always come up, with Gab, could you survive with it? Yeah, if you have the skill set. It's no different than any other knife, right? And what I mean by that is simply this. We always talk about survival knives. It's not the knife, guys. It's really not. It's your skill set. Can your skill set survive with it? And that's not meant to be an insult. That's just true. This is a great knife. And Jacob, again, Jacob's a great maker. I'm going to put that GoFundMe in the description. And it is simply to get him a new shop. He has to move out of the shop he's in. I believe he is a maker who is responsible. I believe he's a maker that makes quality. I believe in what he's doing so much that I donated to it. And you can see my name there on it. Not going to ask y'all to do something I wouldn't do. Let's do this. Let's do one more of these. This is, it is reinforced tire tread. Let's go this way. I'm trying not to have the knife slip and cut the shit out of myself. You know, I know that would delight many of the viewers, but the dogs are about to play. Get a grip on this thing, man. Let's do it this way. I'm trying, I should have picked a bigger piece that I could get a grip on. There we go. Cut the shit out of it, didn't it? No, Gabe, it didn't. Yeah, well, you try doing it. There we go. Sometimes, too, and I just got to be honest with you, people, there's probably some guys, well, the knife's not sharp. Oh, the knife's sharp as shit. I'm just trying not to cut the shit out of myself. I got no problem telling you if a knife isn't performing, if it's my fault or the knife's fault. I like this knife a lot. I really, really do. And it's held up to a ton. One more quick thing. Just quick love taps here. I like doing something like this. Like I said, there's really no vibration there. And you'll notice I'm not hitting it hard. That's not the goal. But if I needed to get a little fire going, if I needed to get some tinder, if I needed to get some kindling, it's not going to wear my hand out. And again, with that, I just wanted to tap down in there. Still pretty damn sharp. I could go crazy on it. You know I could. I know I could. I just don't think that it would serve a purpose. I know I got to get me a new stump. I got to get with Ricardo. I've got him at Kirk's. Damn it. The world's worst batoner. Again, guys, with me, the goal of some of this is just to give you a good idea of the usefulness of the knife. Jacob makes some quality stuff. Really slicey there. I like this thing a lot. I'm doing all this and I'm continuing the video because I just enjoy using the knife. I need to stop though, don't I? All right. The Hawk, designed by Gabe at Last Huntsman Outdoors. Gabe's got some fantastic designs. He's got a knife user's mind when he designs. I like that. Jacob's a hell of a maker. Let's cut some paper and call it. All right, guys, real quick. I know this one's been a little longer, but I'll be honest with you. To me, I've really enjoyed this. This has been a great review from a standpoint of using the knife. You see kind of the balance point there. There was a time in this country, guys, where 22 veterans a day took their own lives. Now, stats are everywhere. We know that. That's why here on this channel, we focus on the number 0. Anything over 0 is simply unacceptable. Vets, we love you. Man, you have a place here. Guys, I back the blue. That's not always easy to do. And there are certain individuals who make that very hard to do. So let me just say this. I support the good men and women. And I see and hear all the time, back the blue till it happens to you. Well, it's happened to me more than it'll happen to many of you. I have my reasons. I'm not arguing. I don't do politics, religion, or her. I just believe in telling you kind of that's one of my things. And really that started out because a friend who's an officer, who's been a solid officer for 25, 30 years, asked me to. They were in a difficult spot in the department he was in. And my son is now an officer. Finally, if you are an addict, and I am, never quit quitting. Well, Gabe from Last Huntsman Outdoors, man, phenomenal job. Jacob, son, as always, you killed it. I'm Scab. You're not, man. I'm appreciative to every one of y'all. Have a great weekend. This is the Hawk, H-A-W-K, from a very good knife company, designed by Gabe from the Last Huntsman Outdoors. I'm gone, son.